I'd forced my child to watch World Trigger, not for the hype, not for the clever fights, but because it teaches a kind of strength that actually survives real life. Too many anime today chase shortcuts. Main characters gifted strength they never earned. Chosen ones who win because destiny says they do. And friendships that magically fix everything overnight. But shortcuts don't survive reality. And that's why World Trigger refused the easy answer. It didn't hand you strength, it made the characters build it. And if you stay with me until the end, you see why this one anime dared to slow it down, to make every step earned, and leave a lesson which will carry for the rest of life. If you've ever felt like you weren't enough, not strong enough, not talented enough, not confident enough, this part is for you. Because World Trigger didn't chase perfection, it focused on people like us. Not the prodigies, not the chosen ones, but the ones still figuring out where we fit. Most anime worship the solo hero, especially in modern times. But World Trigger built a system. Border wasn't one savior, it was a network. There was attackers, snipers, operators, and everything in between who make up the one team. And missing one role, and the whole squad breaks down. And right in the middle of it all, in this beautiful story of World Trigger, is Osamu, our main protagonist. By shonen logic, he should have been irrelevant. No flashy abilities, no natural talent. And yet, he became the spark that held Tamakoma 2 together. Because here's what most people miss. Osamu's weakness wasn't the end of his story. He may not have had overpowered skills, or an item box, or a game mechanic helping him win. He was winning through strategy, teamwork, and planning. Every time he stepped on the battlefield, yes, he was outclassed. It was a raw strength versus strength battle. He lost instantly every single time. But what he did instead, this is what nobody saw coming. He flipped the script. He studied his enemies. He built traps. He turned teammates' abilities into puzzle pieces, pieces only he knew how to fit together. And if you want the clearest picture of that, think back to the Afrocator invasion arc. Osamu, body shaking, dragging a fake Chica cube like it weighed 100 tons. He had no chance of winning the fight, so he did what he could and fought and marched on to the very bitter end. Every step looked like it would be his last, but he carried it anyway, full of resolve and conviction. And that's what World Trigger showed me. Strength doesn't always have to be flashy. Sometimes it's just refusing to let go, even when the whole world tells you you're finished. It makes us realize weakness doesn't just survive, it enables us to rewrite the rules. It was also a proof that even though you may be a pawn at the start, you can still checkmate kings in the end, and every piece has the part to play for victory. That's the paradox that World Trigger taught me. Strength isn't one-dimensional. It's not simply about winning fights, but how you put yourself into action and make contribution. Whether it's by planning them, adapting mid-battle, it's about knowing your role and playing it so well that everyone else grows stronger around you and because of you. And here's the next vital lesson. Osama could have wasted his entire life chasing Kuga, trying to copy his instincts he'd never have, or be envious of Chica and her bottomless triumph. But he didn't. He stopped comparing and started accepting. And that's something you and I both need to hear. We've all been there, looking at somebody else's success and thinking, why am I not there? We've scrolled through social media, thinking somebody else is stronger, richer, happier. They have the physique we want, the woman of our dreams, and every success driven item, whether it's cars, houses, that money can buy. But here's the truth: comparison is a parasite. It steals progress and it blinds you to what you've already built. And it convinces you that only real strength is someone else's. And it convinces you that you are not talented and you're undeserving, or you'll never have what others have. And here's arguably the most important lesson of all the World Trigger, and that's the idea of acceptance. We've tackled acceptance of yourself, but even in extension, the acceptance of those around you. Because think of Tamakoma. Other squads saw Kuga as a neighbor, the enemy, and highest they could have been a spy with a loaded gun, ready to take them out at a moment's notice. And they had every reason to shut the door, but instead, they opened up to them, not in spite of their differences, but because of them. Tamakoma opened up to him and gave him a seat at their table. And that wasn't just tolerance, that was transformation. So let me ask you this directly. How many people have you kept a distance because they didn't fit your mold? How much potential have you killed because you refused to make room at your table? Both their potential of would-be comrades and friends, to your own potential, what you're stifling by not having an open mind and accepting wisdom and lessons from all. And the real strength of World Trigger is not just accepting yourself, but accepting others. Even the ones you fear, even the ones you don't understand, and learning to take people in for their word, flaws and all. And once you learn that, your strength stops being about you. It starts being about everyone who stands with you. So here's why I would force someone to watch World Trigger. World Trigger redefines what strength really is about. Strength isn't about being chosen. It's not about destiny. It's not about standing in the spotlight every time. Sometimes, strength can be quieter. In World Trigger, it was a boy with no talent, dragging a face cube through the dirt, every muscle screaming to stop, every enemy telling him he couldn't make it, and yet he kept powering through. World Trigger is unforgettable. Match by match, connection by connection, our heroes Tamakoma 2 flipped the board, beating the number 1 B-Rec team and securing them spots in their next away missions. And by the time, it wasn't about chosen ones standing up. It was the weakest proving that pawns don't just survive the game, they can rewrite it. And this is the brilliance of World Trigger. It shows that strength can happen even if you have flaws. It's about carrying your flaws forward. It's about making space for others. And it's proved that difference doesn't weaken the group. It actually makes it unbreakable. This wasn't just an anime. This was about life. Because the world doesn't need more people chasing shortcuts. It needs people like you, willing to grow, lead, and to trust. And if there's one lesson we're passing down, it's this. Even when you feel like the weakest piece on the board, you can still carry the weight that changes everything. And thank you for watching. This has been Blessed Visions, where we bring our anime into lessons that make you think, feel, and help you grow. Now I've told you why I'd force my child to watch World Trigger. Let me flip the question back to you. If you could choose one anime to pass down, the one story that teaches real strength, what would it be? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your picks. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed.